Esselamu Aleyküm ve Rahmetullah. Euzu billahi mineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi şrah li sadri ve yessir li emri vahlul ukdeten min lisani yefkahu kavli ve cealli veziran min ehli Harun ahi üştüd bihi ezri ve eşrikhu fi emri key nusebbihake kethira ve nezkurake kethira inneke kunte bina basira. Ve sallallahu ala Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve ashabihi ve etba'ihi ve sellem. Rabbena gfir lana verhamna ve ente hayrul rahimin. Amin. Velhamdülillahi Rabbil alemin. Amin. We have been continuing, inshallah, studying the story of Yusuf, and we studied up to section 12. Section Yusuf, and verse 28. So, excuse me. Now, when her husband saw that his shirt was torn from behind, there was an argument, and I skipped these verses. That the argument was whether Yusuf was the attacking person or the wife was attacking Yusuf. And a witness said, let's see the shirt. If the shirt was torn from behind, it means really Yusuf was attacking, and if the case was reversed, then the wife was attacking. It became that obvious that Yusuf was innocent. So her husband saw this shirt was torn from behind. He said, it means Yusuf was innocent and everything was wrong with the wife. This is another instance of women's scheme. Your scheme is truly great. I don't know, I don't want to be here any kind of chauvinism, but at the same time, the Aziz, or through the tongue or mouth of Aziz, this is something, scheme presented to women, and another instance of this. It means there may be, how do we explain this kind of, if you like, accusations of women? God created men and women. Then why did he create women with some weak points? Maybe men have different weak points, but women have also different weak points. But because of the women's being more emotionally engaged, not really controlling their feelings, maybe as much as men, slightly more than men, and men is slightly more than in social life, but definitely there are exceptions. This is the general trend. I got that, okay, being a woman, also, God gave them these inclinations, being more emotional, then it is from their creation. So they are not really responsible for it, but of course, every human being is responsible to control their feelings. But women must be more careful about controlling their feelings. Then the men must be more careful about their trust in their reasoning. It doesn't mean that women don't have any power to reason, but they need to pay more attention to their feelings, and men need to pay more attention to their rationality. So men sometimes I feel, being a man, that we men, or I, let me speak only for myself, I most of the time neglect the women's feelings. I just keep them as equal, but we cannot. That's how we are created differently, so that we will complement each other, complete each other. I have to pay more attention to women's side, and women also are expected to pay more attention. Men being very rational, but forgetting about the emotional aspect of human beings. So the balance is preserved. That is how I understood from this. This is another instance of women's scheme. Okay. إنه من كيدكن and إن كيدكن عظيم. That's really, your scheme is really, truly great. But we will see that Aziz will not accuse his wife. Let's see. Verse 29. Her husband said, Joseph, forget about this. Look, speaking to Joseph, but in fact, not Aziz is speaking. Of course, Allah is presenting how we should analyze human feelings, human characters. And this is an example presented to us. We don't know who Aziz is. It is not Aziz's thought, the husband's thought. Allah is presenting this case to us in this scenario. So forget about this. Look, men, forget about this. But when he speaks to women, oh wife, seek forgiveness for your sin. It certainly has been your fault. I mean, use a little bit also more of your reasoning. Not only, don't let yourself be carried away your feelings only. I mean, somehow get some help from your reasoning and try to keep the balance as well. And also, while he was speaking to Yusuf, saying, look, you know, you can easily forget about this case. But it happens. This is an emotional, I mean, not only emotional, but in this case, it goes beyond emotion, goes into somehow one's not following their, how do you say, their no, the word didn't come, passion. So why do you think Yusuf was so successful? He was a young man, because he was a boy when he was brought to Egypt. And as far as we understand from this story of the Quran, that he didn't spend a lot of time, but so many years that he is an old person now, but somehow as an adult, young person, not a child anymore. We understand this. We understand this much. So why, although he was young, although we saw also he inclined to her as well, that is very human. Every man is created with this tendency and need towards the opposite gender. Women also. How? Do you remember the verse? Let's just quickly remember it. Okay, here. Let me see. let's read Yusuf 21. Just to remember, we discussed this. The man from Egypt who bought him said to his wife, look after him well. He may be useful to us, or we may adopt him as a son. In this way, look, this is Aziz's plan. Let's see what Allah's plan. We discussed this. In this way, we gave Joseph a firm place on earth. And we did this so that we could teach him the interpretation, inner meaning of events. God always prevails in his purpose, but most people do not know this. This is God's deliberate plan. And let me see. We are too much. I think here. Yeah. But let me see that it was a secure place for Yusuf, but at the same time, God's plan is to prepare him to get ready to understand the meaning of events going on in social life, in human social life. We said God's plan is he is preparing Yusuf to be the administrator of the country and perform his mission or prophetic messages, spread his message through the means of being the ruler of the country. Now, every prophet has different profession and represents different side of human beings. Yusuf also represents the different side of human beings. We said we have to take the Yusuf example from the Quran in order to learn how we should manage with our any position that we are in the position of responsibility. Maybe a small company, we said, maybe ruling a country, doesn't matter. But how Yusuf was, regardless of people's belief, regardless of people's religion, he was helping every needy people. That is the prophetic mission, and we learn from here. So he has to prepare in this world through experiences. The prophets are given the message from God, but this message, very important point, this message is transferred to us, but we people who are expected to follow the prophetic example, it must be appropriate to our real life experiences. We cannot say that, let God teach me ready like he did to Yusuf, and I can act under the control of life. It may control of God. It means I will have no personal responsibility. I will leave everything to God. We cannot deny our personal responsibility in this world. We learn that God is teaching us, look, for example, if you want to become a chemist, you start taking a chemistry course in the college. Very good. But what do you have to do? In a pharmaceutical company, in a drug store, you have to train yourself. Now he is going to be the administrator. God says, Yusuf needs to be trained in a householding of an administrator, chief administrator. What? He is going to be the chief administrator. I think we get this very important message. It is very good that nowadays people understand they have to do training. They have to do stage, I think it is called in English. If I am wrong, please forgive me. Training or I don't know.
Stage in French, internship or yeah.
How is it called in English?
Internship.
Internship, yeah, it is in French, correct. So anyways, you understood that internship, we have to do that. Why? Look, in the example that guy gave me of Yusuf, the Prophet Yusuf, he was doing his internship in Aziz's house under the name of slave. We understand that nowadays those students who are doing internship are not really different from slavery. They pay very little, and they ask them work hard, so that they will impress the boss, they will get the job, etc. The relationship are somehow similar to each other, practically speaking. Okay.
So, brother, going through training, that's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, going to training.
Yeah. So going back to that verse 28, right? So you were making a distinction between rationality and feelings. But what is Kaida Kunna, for example? It's a scheme. It's like a plot against someone.
Yes.
Right? There's a plot that's going on. So it's based off feelings that the plot is happening. As a result of that, or rationality, someone makes decisions.
Somebody's Assam, your video is open. Yeah. Don't you think that it is also a training? How is he going to do with the women and men relationship, especially being an physical attraction, having a physical attraction, beauty? Can we not say that it is a training as well for Yusuf? And also, we will read the following verses, how he is going to prevent himself from falling into any, if you like, undesired position. We will learn this. Inshallah, we will mention that one as well. It is in my notes. Did I answer your question, Asim?
Yes. So it's all part of the training. Your feelings and your rationality and all your human qualities. Yes.
Again. Oh, where is it? Okay. Now, it is a beautiful example. Well, every example or prophetic example is beautiful, by the way. But, okay. Let's see. Verse 29 emphasizes on that anybody who is in the power of authority should not decide before consulting others and also seeing the evidence and then coming to a judgment. Look, what he did, he saw that his shirt was torn from behind. Oh, that's it, evidence is there. So what is he going to do now? He has to speak to according to the capacity of the person he is addressing to. Speaking to Joseph, forget about this. Speaking to his wife, ask for forgiveness. What a beautiful behavior. Yeah. Well, I found that it's a very reasonable man, this Aziz, in playing the role of a reasonable man. Reasonable because he's a politician. At the end of the day, he has to know how to deal with the people according to their expectations and capacities. Right? Shall I continue? Okay, no. 30. In this city, women were saying the chief of minister's wife is trying to seduce her slave lad, and she is passionately in love with him. Gossip. We see that she is clearly going astray. All right, we will see whether who is better, you or the person you are accusing. There is a verse, interesting verse in the Quran. Verse number, I can tell you, the section 49, section 49, verse number, I don't remember the first number, but I can find it out very quickly. Okay. Yeah. Verse number is 11. You study that. Very interesting. I will read it from my Musaf here. Ya eyyühellezine amenu la yeskhar kavmun min kavmin asa en yekunu khayran minhum ve la nisa'un min nisa'in asa en yekunna khayran minhum. Yeah. Don't mock or sakhr. Don't make sakhr. It means look at down and say, look at these people, how weak they are, etc. Your men should not look down at other people's men, and your women separately mentioned in the Quran. They also should not look at other people's women down. عسى يكون خيرا منهم عسى يكون خيرا منهن. Both of them for men or for women. It may be that they are better than you are. How do you know? Don't accuse anyone straight away. But in this verse 30, we see that she is passionately in love with him. We see that she's clearly going astray. What did they do? Now they started gossiping and looking at her down, mocking her. So, وَلَا تَنَابِزُوا بِالْأَلْقَابِ بِئْسَ الْإِسْمُ الْفُسُوقُ بَعْدَ الْإِيمَانِ. No, don't really use laqab. How do you say? Don't say, oh, some of students used to tell me, when I was in the high school, Bold Ali. Now they named me Bold. Yeah, I was bold. Yeah, I said this. Look, I'm bold. Yes, you are true. You are a nice person. You are telling me my truth. Yeah, thank you very much. And so they didn't annoy me, couldn't annoy me, so they left it. So it was good. So don't name people saying that this, this poor guy, the little guy, the short guy, that. For example, short guy. Don't do this. So this is a very bad fusq. It's really a corruption. After Iman, it doesn't match you. So if you do this, please ask for forgiveness. You make tawbah, it means repent. So if you don't do that, you will be really zalim. It is transgressor on the wrongdoers. So it is a beautiful verse. You can study it. So you can say that, the Pakistani people, these Indians, you see this kind of attitude. Quran, there is a long verse about it. Never, ever label with other people and ridicule them with strange words, if you like. All right. We will see now what is important here. Why, another reason, why Yusuf was successful not to succumb into his passion, but Aziz's wife failed. There are two reasons. One of them, now let's go to slide 11, then, sorry, this one. Yeah, we see that Levla and let me see, am I wrong? Yeah. فلما رأى قميصه no. Yeah. So ولقد همت وهم بها لولا أن رأى برهان ربه. Look, لولا أن رأى برهان ربه. If he did not see the evidence of his Lord, he would also really desire her. So, first of all, he took the evidence of God in his practical life, so his belief was supported with the evidence. So, in this world, how? Pointing to God's attributes, right? God's attributes. So, in this physical world, our belief must have been established, founded on evidence. So that, for example, a flower or any plant or anything so created by God, if we in our life get used to remembering God, not only when I read the Quran, I remember God, but when I see a tree also, I should remember God. When I see the rain is coming down, I should remember God. I see the cloud, I see the moon, the sun, whatever, the other creatures, other animals, I should train myself. So when I see the tree, I should not say or remember, oh, it is a tree, it gives fruit. No, I should say this is Allah's sign, or this is a sign to point Allah. So if he was not educated himself through confirming his belief by taking the signs in the creation as a reminder for him to remember God, he would also fail. He would desire her. But God means, what is the remembering God has to do here? So look, my body belongs to my God. My passion belongs to my God. I have to use it with his permission. Now there is no permission for me. We have no marriage act. So I cannot really have access to her. So he remembers this. But if belief in God is not supported with evidence, when we experience any crucial matter, needs a very quick decision, then this abstract notion of belief doesn't come to your mind, or at least doesn't come to my mind. So even in any circumstances, if I see a fly, it should remind me God, the creator, his absolute power, knowledge, or being that God has given this fly eyes, so he sees everything because he is the source of the power of eyes in the absolute terms. So see, he saw the evidence, any evidence that he used to practice with. Then he remembered his God and said, oh, without God's permission, I am not allowed to use his property in this world. But with his permission, yes. That is what Iman is, practically useful in matters of this kind of sudden events happen to us. Now, let's come here. This one. Levla and Ra Burhana Rabbeh. So, because Joseph was sure of his Lord's evidence, so his belief was so firm. He was not defeated with emotional passion. That is one lesson I got from this chapter. This section of the story. Let's see the difference. Why Yusuf was successful, and Aziz's wife failed. Why do you think? Just think about it for 5 seconds. Why do you think? Now, Yusuf, well, what I'm sharing, if you want to share your idea, I'm very happy. I will be very happy to listen to you. But well, I will speak. If you don't speak, I will speak. If you want to say anything, please just share with me. Okay. What I got, Yusuf was looking at the angelic side of creation because he has been training himself as taking every creature as a sign pointing to its creator. It means the meaning of the being he is in contact with. So meaning reminded him God, angelic side of creation. But as we see that in prison, Yusuf is saying, I run away from unbelieving nation. We understand that. I don't know why Aziz's wife's particular iman, but generally this society didn't believe in God. That is interesting. Okay, still he served the people who didn't believe in God. That is really striking, very striking. There is a great lesson for us there. We cannot really appreciate its value. I cannot appreciate its value. So you can help anybody in the street. You can try to help anybody in the street. So if they accept, of course. So they accepted, the king appointed him, and he helped them, regardless of being godless people. All right. That is one side. Particularly this event, he was aware that we have to see the angelic side of the creation. So the stories, the Jewish stories tell that wives, you must have heard of Zuleika. So Yusuf and Zuleika is a very, very famous novel. Anyways, you know better than I do this kind of things. I don't want to use the name Zuleika, but in the Old Testament, the name is given. And some Muslim scholars also borrow this name from them, and I don't know. I don't use them. I say wives, Aziz's wife, as the Quran presents. But Aziz's wife had not looked at the matter from angelic side, from only being a matter, being an object of this world. He was looking at Yusuf as a beautiful body. Yusuf was looking at her as a created by a creator who is the source of beauty, demonstrating his beauty on her body. So as soon as he remembered God, the beauty belongs to God, not to Aziz's wife. So he just sought refuge with God, because the beauty doesn't belong to Aziz's wife. But Aziz's wife thought beauty belongs to Yusuf. That's why in order to obtain the beauty, get the beauty of Yusuf, he wanted to have him. Look at the difference. How those people who don't believe in God, in their perspective, the world is completely different from the word of the believers. They look at a tree, they say, this is a tree producing fruit. And a believer looks at the tree and says, this is what God created in order to present his mercy, his provision to us, to demonstrate his love to us. He is a caring God. We are looking at the same object. That is the difference between belief and unbelief. That is why non-believers don't understand believers, but believers understand non-believers. How come? Believers know that it is possible to take the tree as a tree producing fruit. But at the same time, through their belief, they look at it, or as they conclude from the way that the tree is coming into existence, this must be created by the creator of the universe. So they have two objects, but they prefer one to another. The one is tree is a tree. The other one is tree is a sign of God's absolute provider, being a provider. This is a beautiful, inshallah, we will study the story of Adam, inshallah. I don't know when, but inshallah it is in the project. Iblis looked at Adam from his body. Exactly, kufr is the way of Iblis. And said, why should I prostrate before him? I am better than him. He must prostrate before me. I mean, serve me. Prostration in this case is serving, not prostrating God. No, serving, because Iblis knows God. It said you created him from soil, but you created me from fire. Fire is the source of energy and, higher quality being. Okay, what happened? Angels see the angelic side of the matters. That is why angelic side of matters, or angelic side of Adam he was taught the names of God. It means his spirit. They looked at him carrying the spirit. The body is not important. It is a cup. It is a container. What is contained in it? Spirit. What spirit represents? Asma'ullah, God's names. Of course, these are the qualities of God manifested, not exactly, of course, manifestations, reflections. When we see the sunlight reflecting in the mirror, do we say that this mirror is the sun? No, we say it's reflection of sun's light. So what we do, we respect the light reflected in the mirror, but we don't really give the same importance, attach the same importance to the mirror. So mirror is important just because it is reflecting the light. If there was no light reflected in it, in an example, mirror would have no value. So the difference is from one's perspective, and the perspective is based on one's belief in the angelic side of creation, meaning side of creation. The other side is belief in the reality of the object side of the creation, side of beings. Materialist science and prophetic message now diametrically contradictory to each other. Materialistic attitude cannot understand this attitude. I am saying not the person. Person has two options always. The materialistic attitude cannot appreciate prophetic message unless they give up their prejudice, being biased, that matter is a matter. They say science speaks about facts. What is fact? Fact is tree is a tree producing fruit. The prophetic message says fact is tree is a mirror where its creator's qualities are manifested and they are functioning. Not the tree itself. Tree has no quality to do that. The parts of the tree has no quality, but they are all manifestations of God's qualities. Exactly, there is no difference between Adam and Iblis's attitude towards Adam, and between universe and the attitude of the materialist scientists towards the universe. There is no difference. Evil attitude towards the universe, insulting the universe. Like when Iblis insulted Adam, saying that, look, it is made up of dirt. I mean, the body is made up of dirt, yes, correct. The mirror is made up of glass. Why should I respect it? But it is reflecting the sunlight and giving you light. So exactly, the Quran's examples are so alive, so practical. We can directly implement them into our today's life, today's world conflicts between belief and unbelief. Very much related. No, Quran is not a storybook. Definitely, anytime I have class with you, become even once more building my confidence in the reality of the message of the Quran as God's word. When sometimes I listen to these people, what do they say really? What do they really claim? So we have to listen to them. So I spent sometimes, especially when I was young, really, I was really, very, very interested in their philosophies that say what they say. Now I understand. Well, I should do. Okay, I learned a lot, but at the same time, it is just a waste of time, really. When I listen to these people now, they come up with a very, very scientific presentation. One of this materialist scientist was saying that gravity is so great, we can count it, we can measure it, it changes from one place to another. Why? Because of the latitude, whatever. So you calculate, yeah. Can you make a mathematical equations of the gravity functions? Yes. And then what he said, it's so comedy. Although we have never seen gravity, we can never took the picture of gravity, we can never took gravity and put it in the library, but we see it's functioning. But that is how it's created. Now, please behave yourself. That is how it is created. There is no agent in this world that can be pulling your things, and we don't know really what its essence is. Okay, at least I congratulate you now. Declare, I don't know the essence of something, then I am saying I understand it completely. I am speaking about the fact. Yes, you are speaking about the fact of not knowing the essence of what you are talking about. You know, when I am really remembering this kind of things, I say, thank you very much. You are really enforcing my belief. Thank you. I say, all right. Okay, let's go once more. One more verse, inshallah. 37. Bismillah. Okay, when she heard of their scheming, she sent for them and presented, she sent for them means invited, and prepared a banquet for them. أرسلت إليهن, it means some messengers to invite all of them, okay? And prepare the banquet for them, good. And she gave each one of them a knife. And she said, come out to them, of course, speaking to Yusuf now. So when they saw him, they were stunned by his beauty. I would say beauty in bracket of body, his body, and cut their hands as they were cutting the fruits or something, whatever, cake or fruit, whatever it's presented to them. And because of they were stunned, amazed at the beauty of Yusuf's physical body. And beautifully created, correct, but beauty doesn't belong to the body. It is given to them. Body is just a mirror. And cut their hands. And they said, Hasha lillah. It's very interesting expression. Oh, no. God forbid, it can't be true. It means really, it can't be true. I must be dreaming. Oh, how? This is not a human, but a noble angel. Okay. Can you imagine a capacity of a person, human being, really appreciates the beauty so much as these women were appreciating Yusuf's beauty in their eyes? If they realized this beauty is just a fraction of the manifestation of the beauty of the creator of Yusuf, so many of us. So can you imagine the absolute beauty of God? When we see the manifestation of the manifestation, not the real, impossible, absolute. So we have to understand this manifestation of beauty of God, which is called in the language of the Quran, Jamalullah. God. What do you think? Not only cut our hands, we may cut our heart and everywhere. Because so striking. Of course, God is telling us something here. Aziz's wife knew that they are of the same mind. Look, if I am out of control because of my passion overwhelming my reason, these people must be out of control as well. Let me show them how God is teaching us here, what God is teaching us here, how he is really educating us here. Look, first of all, everybody knows his peers or her peers from his or her own perspective. Now, a mu'min also, as the hadith narration says, al-mu'minu lil-mu'mini mir'atun. Mu'min also sees another mu'min as if he is looking at mirror and seeing himself in it. As if the other person is a mirror to me. When I look at it, I see myself in it. It means everybody, for example, if I have a bad intention, yeah, when I put my hand in my pocket because there is a gun in my pocket, always carrying like this, and if a person knocks at my door and his hand is in my pocket, in his pocket, in his pocket, what do you think the first image I will have come to my mind? This man has a gun there. He has a bad intention. But this man may be a poor guy. He's cold. He's really feeling cold. But the first thing is, oh, he's holding a gun in his pocket. So we have to really, for example, we have to be careful. If I want to have a good intention for other people, in order to have a good intention, not blame other people straight away, I have to educate myself. I have to educate myself. I have to change myself. If I don't change myself, then I will judge about other people's behavior according to my criterion. It is impossible to avoid it. That is, there are great lessons in these verses. So he knew that, she knew that her peers have the same weak point. And she justified it because this is how we are astonished by the beauty of a man, or other way around, how the men are astonished by the beauty of a woman. Now we have to check ourselves. When I look at a woman, do I look at her body or do I look at her character, as the Prophet ﷺ says? Are you looking at the belief? Are you looking at her taqwa? Or examples always in Arabic language given in male form. So are you looking at the woman as from her taqwa and belief side? It means opposite also is true. Women, when you look at the man, oh, he's a good man, he has a good profession, handsome looking, young, etc., etc. No. Did you look at her, his or her, depending on the gender, her iman, her taqwa, her consciousness of God? Beauty is the beauty after a certain age. You know, when I was young, I look at my picture, I was somehow a handsome boy. Now, where is this baby? When you look at my face, you get disappointed. So, oh, this is my end as well. I don't want it. Yes, we don't want it. Correct. We don't want it. We want a young, energetic creation. That is, Allah gave us this desire to us. Paradise promises that whatever I need, will be given. I will be given. Or inshallah, we will be given. Inshallah, that is why we are created for paradise. Arona, I just noticed that Arona wrote something maybe an hour ago almost. I was wondering, do you guys have something like a WhatsApp group for the weekly discussions? To go over, I would like to ask Arona, did you mean, Arona, are you here? Let me see. Yes, she is here. Did you mean, Arona, WhatsApp group to discuss the content of the discussion?
Yeah, I meant like just like a weekly group of those who attend. You could like review what we learned, or if anyone has questions, we could discuss it. But that's what I meant.
Oh, if you make a discussion and make a critiques of the content, this was right, this was wrong, and accordingly come up with your questions and conclusions in the following class, I would love it. It would be my really realization of my dream. But inshallah, you can do it, or the people will do it. Now, we have many recordings on Islam from Within web page, and I see some people seriously studying on them. Some of them are translated, etc., etc. None of my business. If the people need it, they will do that. Okay. Now, what happened? They were also lost in his physical beauty, right? Now, the story stops here for us for today. Inshallah, we will continue next week. It's so exciting. The stories are so exciting, so much. I mean, I am also very much excited with the many perspective of the message that we learn from this prophetic stories in the Quran. Now there are the similar stories are mentioned in Torah. You cannot get this. Unfortunately, I'm not mentioning this, oh, they corrupted the text, etc. No, no. I'm very sorry that the original form must be corrupted because you cannot get these messages just because of the structure of the language is not preserved in its originality. Otherwise, we would get the same message. Anyways, inshallah, we will continue next week. Any question, any comment, any concern? Anything bothers you? Inshallah, what we learned here, we shouldn't look at the matter from its outward appearance. We have to train ourselves. Lawla and ra'a ayatullah. Isn't that? Wasn't that? Lawla. Yeah. Lawla and ra'a burhanu rabbi. So evidence of Rabb. If he had not seen the evidence of Rabb, of course we shouldn't go to this verse, Levla and Ra'a Burhan Rabbi 24. There are some speculations, of course, especially in Sufi tradition, that God appeared at the moment. God just appeared to him. Why? These are just speculations. God is an absolute being, cannot appear anything. Just only even the prophets, he sent his angels in order to convey the message. Otherwise, God is revealing himself to human beings through creating the universe. So what do you think? What is for example, anything, a plant in the house, wouldn't be enough to remind you God, the creator? What? Why this is a burhan of Rabb. The universe is a burhan of Rabb. Every piece of this universe is a burhan of Rabb, our Lord, our creator. Why do we need to go into speculative interpretations? Most of them are borrowed from risale-i, and I'm really fed up with them. So, alhamdulillah, at least we have to be thankful to God for.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Ali.
Yep.
This is Assalamu alaikum. I was wondering, next time I'm interested what the meaning is and that they say, but a noble angel. This is not a human, but a noble angel. I'm interested in discussing that next time. If you could please expound upon that.
Yeah. Now, it is not directly related to our subject, all right?
Okay.
No, but I'm not saying no, we are not going to discuss about it. It is a matter of really genuine interest. So every creature is a very summary now. Every creature of this world, in one aspect, reflects the one name of God at the highest level. For example, dog reflects what? Smell, right? Smell is created by God. So God is the source of existence of smell. So let's say noble angel of the representative of smell manifested in the creation of the dog. Why? Because God creates everything through by giving a command to the angels to execute it. That's what the Quran teaches, and we understand that there is no physical relationship between God and the creation. What happens? Just it appears. This is the execution of the manifestations of the names of God. So when it comes to the Quran, what is that? Kalamullah. Now, speech of God, right? Speech of God is represented by Gabriel. Speech what? Presents the meaning of everything. meaning of everything. What we hear in this world, what we have in this world, only the physical appearance of the manifestations of God. But speech of God, the physical appearance of speech of God, what? There is no such thing. Mus'haf is not the manifestation of the speech of God. This is human written or written by human hand. So we shouldn't confuse Mus'haf and the Quran. Quran is Quran. Mus'haf is just a human-made paper writing. But this abstract notion of speech is only presented in the Quran as in the form of noble angel. Oh, I'm confused. Did you say noble angel or noble messenger? I'm confused now. When I concentrate on one point, I forget everything. What did you say?
Wondering if there's what the meaning is that they say he's not a human but a noble angel.
Oh,
Why are they saying
I got you. I got you now. Just a minute. Of course, what I was telling about Gabriel. But noble angel means really illa melekun kerim. Now, even the atheist people, when they see the beauty of something, they are human beings. Their human side admires it. When they admire something, they know that it is not for the sake of the matter. For example, a person is interested in an atheist woman, right? Doesn't believe in the meaning of creation, doesn't believe in God, and doesn't believe in angels. If this person presents this girl, example, which is the case, practical case, presents a bunch of beautiful flowers. Yeah. Do you think this atheist woman takes it and starts to eat the flower, or to see that it is this is a cell evolved by itself, and it is just an accidental being, or she starts becoming interested in the man, saying that, oh, this man has a good sense. Understand? So they have, although they claim they don't believe in angel, but in their practical life, when they see a beautiful machine, what they do, they buy it. If you say, why did you prefer this one? Why, it is beautiful, man. I love the color. What is this loving beauty? So it is, although, how do you say, not admitted, but unadmitted. Is there any word in English? Without realizing, they also live in this world. Atheist people also live in this world, by believing in value, by believing in beauty, by believing in, for example, kindness, gentleness. They are not matter. You said that we can believe on only, or I can really accept only what matter is. But your life is full of angels. Not matter, non-matter. How do you explain this? That is what the obvious contradiction of the atheist people. That's what noble angel in this context. Sorry, I realized that I think the question wasn't this, but as soon as I heard the noble angel, I thought you were asking about the Quran uses a noble angel, or this translated noble angel again for Gabriel. But these people, again, it says, it is stated here, in the Hada illa Malakun Kareem. God forbid, oh man, hasha lillah. ما هذا إلا بشر ما هذا بشر إن هذا إلا ملك كريم. So God forbid, this is not a human, but a noble angel. You see, being an atheist doesn't mean that your whole human side is completely dead, but according to your choice, you say you ignore it, but they are there. Whatever you do, they are there. Okay, I don't know whether it was satisfactory, but only this was 15 minutes late. If you
Yes, I noticed that, Dr. Ali, I noticed that, for example, one can have an atheist perspective on life and still, for example, believe in luck or mystery or magic. Like there's still some, like, I've noticed that they still have some sort of like, or they will function claiming that they're perfectly logical, yet believe that if I say good luck, I'll actually have good luck. Luck is not logical at all, or mystery is not logical at all, or magic is not logical at all. Yet people engage with, people still like claim that they have a perfectly logical yet atheistic perspective on life, yet they lend themselves to things that are completely illogical, like magic or mystery or luck.
Okay, Shahrani, that's very good. Thank you very much. But we have to, an extension to it. We have to notice that these people, when they published, for example, one of their articles may be accepted by a famous journal, and when they are appreciated, when they are applauded, they get smashed. Why? What is the matter there? Where is matter there? Their life is full of contradiction. Alhamdulillah, this is a good lesson for us. But as you said, believing in luck or this kind of stupid idiot things. But when they claim, they said, we don't believe, we believe in only science, we believe in only facts, physical fact. Where is the physical fact in appreciation? Why do you get smashed when the people applaud you at the end of your, for example, conference or speech? Why? What is physical there for you? People's appreciation is very valuable for you. Is appreciation is a physical matter? You cannot list and get to the end. Contradiction upon contradiction. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim wa akhiru da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin bi hurmati sir